Hi, I'm Susan Latai, and I am here with Wendy Juergens, a co-author of a new book that will be out shortly called Shining a Light on Grief. Welcome, Wendy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Susan.
Yes, I'm thrilled that you're here, and I'm thrilled that you've been part of this project. So please share with our audience a brief description of your chapter titled A Mother and Her Son.
Okay. So, well, number one, thank you so much for including me in this project. I mean,
My
I
pleasure.
couldn't believe when you called. It was wonderful. The chapter is about obviously my son who died by suicide 10 years ago this month. And so everything's been so timely. And I feel that things happen for a reason.
Yes.
So anyway, I wanted to share my experience as a mom losing a child, although he was 32 when he died, but wanted to share that experience and just all the aspects of what I went through so that others who may be going through a similar situation, maybe they'll pick up on something that will help them. I'm actually, because I'm working on my own book too, as you know, and when you asked me to do this, I said, this is perfect because this will give me a jump start into really writing seriously.
Right.
So, and that's why I'm so appreciative. But so I wrote about the day he died up until, a little bit of time afterwards. And then try to put some experiences there regarding, even the funeral.
Right.
It's just, to me, a lot of people look at it as a traumatic event, and yes, traumatic, but I never really looked at it that way. I'm just a positive person.
Right.
So I'll take a negative and turn it into a positive. Thus the writing. Because if I can take what I experienced and help others, right. I mean, if I help one person, I'll be overjoyed. So that was my whole purpose for doing it. And I think that, I think people will find it very interesting because when you talk about suicide to others, if you share experiences, like if I go on walks where there's people there who've lost people to suicide, it's amazing that it's one aspect of, we'll call death, suicide,
right?
But there's so many stories, and when you dig, which is what I like to do if someone's willing and able, is to learn more about the person who died, and learn how did that person affect your life. And so Nick has affected my life in a very positive manner. And we were almost mentors. Well, I'll say we were mentors to each other. And so what I learned from him, I have taken, and because he was great with people too, I've taken that and moved on. So I'm like, Nick the second, I'm trying to do the things that he wanted to do. And when he died, he was a funeral director when he died.
I know how I.
So when he was going to school for that, he'd come home because he was living with us at the time. He was a Navy vet, so he's living with us at the time until he found his own place. But he was talking about school and the different things that they did. I learned so much from him. So in that respect, when I talk to people, if they ask, because I have a lot of people referred to me, I'll tell them about my experiences and why I did the things I did, why I wanted to do them. And I wanted to kind of attach those experiences to the person we lost, to their personality. Right. And it was just an amazing experience. So as sad as I can get, I'm still blessed with a positive attitude and a want to help others going through the same thing.
Yeah.
So
and I loved your story. I think it is important to share that funeral experience and the tradition and how that does create some kind of closure.
Oh, yeah.
as well. And I think what I also enjoyed about your chapter is the humor that was part of it, that he had a great sense of humor, and you really, that comes through in there.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've in my own book, where my first chapter, condensed version, I posted it on my blog, and there's one woman, I'll never forget it, because I was afraid to post it. It's when I first started doing things, and she came running up to me at this women's meeting that we had, and she's, "Oh my God, Wendy." I said, "What?" And she said, I read your blog." I said, "You did?" And she says, "I did. I loved it." I said, "Oh, good." She said, "So let me explain." She said, "I read it. I was sad. I had tears in my eyes. And then the next page, I was laughing. And then the next page, I was sad again." And she said, "I went back and forth, back and forth. And by the end of it, I felt like I knew Nick."
Yeah.
I said, "That's exactly what I was looking for."
Yeah.
And that's what I want others to strive for, whether they write about it or journal about it, but just, thinking about it, strive for that person's legacy,
Right.
to carry that on.
Yeah.
They're not with us, but they are with us.
Right, exactly. And I think we really found, that this was quite the journey. And in sharing and writing our stories, that we learned a lot more about ourselves. We learned, that there was another layer that it helped process, and how important it is to really share your story.
And it's extremely therapeutic.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
I've seen, in our little meetings that we've had, with the authors, and I've seen such growth over a period of weeks. Oh my God. It was wonderful.
It's like we all evolved as a group
Yeah.
throughout the whole process.
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah, couldn't have asked for better. I mean, really, everything was just fell in alignment
Mhm.
with what I
Well,
put out there. This was totally guided. It totally,
oh yeah, I was going to say, you were our
totally,
angel. You were being
totally
guided.
guided.
You guided us, and it's just a wonderful project.
Yes. So with that, when I did reach out to you, why did you say yes? I know you touched a little bit on it. But why say yes to me? And, when there's so many other people out there that are doing books and
And
doing,
that's right. And since you asked me, I have learned that there are many other people out there doing these things. But I've known you a long time.
yes.
To me, your integrity is very high. And I know that when you take on a project, you carry it through. And I knew for me, I would need that guidance. I'm more of a, I work from just the seat of the pants. I just, someone will ask me to speak and I'll just blah, 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 I'm not one of those Toastmaster people.
Oh,
So, but, so you and your personality, your character had a lot to do with my saying yes. And although I said yes pretty quickly, but, all of that went through my head, this is Susan Latai. Yeah.
why, thank you.
Yes. So, and I knew also that accepting this would move me towards finishing my book, because now I'm in I don't have a schedule, but I'm more in a routine
Right.
where it's always
Okay.
in my head. And when I sit down to write, I write a lot more, my thoughts a lot more clearly than I had been doing before. So
Oh,
it's really
wonderful.
changed. Yeah, it's changed my style. It's improved my style.
Mhm.
So yeah, there were many reasons that just flew through my head, Susan, when you asked me. And I think you remember, it didn't take me long to make the decision.
No.
I thought this sounds like a great project. Um, I like to take on a challenge. I like to also step outside my comfort zone. And, and it's interesting because it's something that I encouraged Nick to do when he was younger,
Mm,
you know, because he
right.
was, you know, he had his little comfort zone. Boy, he hated to step outside of that. So, yeah, and you know, so I think it was important to do that, and I encourage people to do that as well. So it all just kind of rolls. It'll continue building for me.
Right.
But I really appreciated you asking me.
I appreciate that you joined us.
Yeah.
So, final question for you is, what would you like to share with our audience about who you are, how you're being of service in the world now?
Okay. Well, who I am right now is a lot different than who I was a few months ago, due to you. But I feel I'm a business owner.
Mhm.
Have been for many years. I am unemployable because I could never work for anyone again.
Oh,
I
me.
just, I know, I love being self-employed. The freedom that comes with it is just wonderful. So I am involved with a company that manufactures nutritional supplements. So I've been very busy with that especially through COVID.
Mhm.
I've got some people I'm working with, helping them build a business. And you know what I love? I love teaching people not only how to do this business, but how to run their business, you know, to help them manage their own business.
Mhm.
I was talking to a woman yesterday and I was telling her that it was important to have a separate checking account, you know, all the business things,
Yes.
because she has no experience and she's so grateful. So
Mm.
that's something I like to share with people too, no matter who they are and what we're talking about.
Mhm.
I just want to help people, whether it be with their health or with their business, with marketing, with networking. It's all up here and I love it. I love
You're
it.
a teacher.
I am a teacher, yes.
Teacher.
A
Teacher
teacher
by
and a
nature.
connector.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and I will post all your information up wherever this is. So,
Yeah. And I'm obviously, maybe it's not so obvious. I am very interested in talking to other people who have lost a friend or a family member to suicide, because when I do, I kind of gather information for
mhm.
what I'm going to write. And, you know, I'm not going to write about them, but the ideas that we share, the
Mhm.
thoughts we share, it's all important, because there are
Absolutely.
things that I don't think about that other people do. And it's important for me to know that.
Yeah, and I think that we found that out throughout this book and the journey and everybody's story and how unique each one was and what was
Mhm.
important for them to share versus someone else. So
Yes.
it
Yeah.
was very, very interesting and all wonderful stories. So,
Yeah. It was great. Yeah.
so
I
well,
can't wait to see that book, Susan.
so it's getting closer. It's getting closer. It'll be available soon. So hope, but end of June.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here with me and sharing a little bit about your chapter. And people have to pick up the book to read
That's
it.
right. That's right.
All right. Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you.